Am I the a-hole for not wanting my sister in my wedding? I, 30F, am getting married soon. I've always imagined this day and thought about the people who'd stand beside me at the altar. I always knew I wanted my best friend, also 30F, there. She's been my rock through so many stages of life. And in the past, I assumed I'd want my older sister, 35F, standing there too. I mean, she's my sister. That's what people do, right? But the truth is, our relationship has never been what it should have been. And now that the big day is approaching, I find myself asking, why should I include someone who's never truly included me? A little backstory. I was adopted from China when I was 5. My sister is my parents' biological child, and for as long as I can remember, I've always felt like the other daughter. Not just from society or outsiders, but from her. She treated me like I didn't really belong, like I was the family's project, not her sibling. When we were younger, she didn't protect me. I remember being bullied by one of her classmates and telling her how much it hurt. Her response? Stop being annoying. No comfort, no defense, just dismissal. That moment stung then, and it still does now. When she got married, I thought maybe I'd finally get to share that sisterly bond people always talk about. But instead, she chose our cousin to be her maid of honor. I was still included as a bridesmaid, but even then, I was clearly an afterthought. She barely included me in any wedding photos, and she clung to our cousins like they were her sisters while I watched from the sidelines. I was just there to make the numbers even. Still, I've always been the one trying to be helpful, trying to build some kind of connection. I remember when she had her first baby, I volunteered to stay over to help with nighttime feedings so she could get some sleep. I slept on the hardwood floor next to the crib with no pillow, no blanket. Not even a thank you. I just wanted to help her. I wanted her to feel supported in a way she never made me feel. When I went through depression, I reached out, thinking maybe she'd finally show up for me. Her response? I'll 3-0 to your ass. For those who don't know, that means involuntarily committing someone to a psychiatric facility. Not even a pause to ask what was wrong. Just a threat. Like I was a problem she didn't want to deal with. She's let me down so many times, in ways that still echo in my life. Years ago, I planned a big move into my apartment. I'd coordinated everything months in advance, and my sister promised she'd take time off work to help. But literally the day before, she tells me she can't come anymore because she's having company over. I was devastated. For once, my parents actually stood up for me and told her they were disappointed in how she was acting. That moment meant the world to me. But of course, she couldn't handle the criticism. She cried and weaponized her kids, telling my mom, well, if I'm such a disappointment, you don't need to watch my children anymore. Which, of course, made my parents backpedal like always, because she knows how to manipulate them with guilt. Oh, and while she did show up briefly the night before to drop things off, she bailed the next day, even though she promised to help unpack. Where was she instead? At an amusement park. More recently, when our mom had to undergo surgery and ended up hospitalized for over a month due to complications, my sister's biggest concern wasn't our mom's health. It was that she didn't have a babysitter for her 2 kids. She expected our mom to watch them the day after surgery. When that didn't happen, she shifted the burden onto my dad. And despite him running himself ragged, she even asked him to also watch her 2 dogs. Because her comfort and convenience come first. Always. One day, she called looking for our parents. I answered. She said, "Where's my mom and my dad?" With this bitter tone like I was just some stranger again. I calmly said, "I'm with them at the hospital, while you decided to go away for the weekend." She hung up on me. This is the pattern. Selfishness. Manipulation. Never taking responsibility. Always the victim in her own story. And now, my wedding is coming up. My parents are pressuring me to include her. They say, she's your sister, and this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. But the truth is, I only want people standing beside me who've actually stood by me in life. My best friend has held me when I cried, shown up for every major life moment, and never judged or abandoned me. When I was at my lowest, she was there. When I was hurt by my family, she reminded me I wasn't the problem. She is the kind of sister I wish I'd had growing up. And she's the only one I want standing with me on the most important day of my life. If my sister's there, I know there will be drama. She'll find a way to make it about herself. She always does. And the last thing I want on my wedding day is to manage her moods, worry about what she'll say, or feel fake smiles pulling at my face while my heart's just exhausted. So, am I the a-hole for not wanting my sister in my wedding party? I feel guilty. I feel conflicted. But mostly, I feel tired of pretending like things are okay when they never have been.